Right, so come again. Today it's Saturday. I've done my DIY, which is why I'm covered in white paint. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go along Woodford Bank. It's been very windy. There's been a lot of rain. The report from the Facebook page of Woodford Lodge says that the water's going to cool down a bit. There's also a lot of fresh water gone into it because of the rain, so the algae should have dropped down, so which means the visibility should be a little bit better. It's still quite windy, but the wind is basically going sort of that way, sort of like that, so it's across the bank, and because I'm left-handed it means it's going to be blowing the line away from me, so I'm all good and still getting me out in the way. Something that's often forgotten about, you know, sometimes you might think that you need no wind at all for fishing. Not true, actually. I mean, I think it says it's around 14 or 15 miles an hour, which would be challenging if the wind was coming towards you or not working with your cast, but it does limit the amount of places that you can fish. Completely still, sometimes a bit challenging because the water's flat and you know, it makes presentation a little bit difficult. So what I'm going to do today is try a slightly different rig. I'm going to use a sinking tip. A sinking tip is really handy for people who, if you usually use floating line, you can add this a little bit of an extension. It's like 5 or 6 feet of intermediate, so that sinks down, so you can get a lot more depth, which means that you don't have to use an intermediate line. You can still just fish with one line, and it's quite a good technique. Certainly works very well in the spring as well, where you want to get the buzzers down to where the fish are. I suspect because it's quite bright today, the fish will be low. I'm going to use 9-foot 6-weight rod. I'm going to use my 6-weight floating line, weight forward, but I'm going to stick, like I say, a leader on the end. So I've got this sinking tip, the intermediate tip. Just comes in one of these. I've got this one. This is a brown one. I've just got some spares, but this one should be fine. And literally very easy to put on. So I'm just going to stick a leader on the end. I don't need my usual length of leader. I'm going to go for about 6 feet. I'm going to start with a kind of greeny, well, that's probably a bit small actually. I want a little gold head on the bottom to get it down. I'm going to use that one. So I'll put that one on my point. Little gold head nymph with a bit of pearly flashing. That might do it. Bottom dropper. I'm going to go for this guy. Which is a regular sort of dial back type nymph, green with orange flashing sides. I did quite well. I think this was possibly something I caught my first ever fish on, so I'm going to use that one. And then on the top dropper, I'm going to try this guy. I've had a lot of success with these UV things, which is the sort of purpley, I don't know what you call that, but I'm going to try that. I say I've had a lot of success with these. I've had a lot of success with this in previous seasons, so maybe today will be the day that it works. We'll see. And they've cut all the grass down, which is great, so that's going to mean less back cast tanglage. Probably can't see, yeah, that's quite murky. Oh, that's a shame. I thought it was going to be a bit clearer. So there's a few flies around. There's definitely some hatching going on. It's just a shame the water's not a little bit clearer. I saw a rise there. I think I might have a perch. I have a feeling I have. Look at that, mate. frisky fella. Let's get you. God, that fly's nearly as big as you are. Ooh, I did get a bite, but I think it might have been a perch. So we'll just leave Woodford now. Sadly, my theory of fishing down didn't really pay off there. I don't think I've got anything apart from that tiny little perch. So we'll now head over to Whalley, which is just about a 3 or 4 minute drive. And it's on the way home. And I did get a phone call from home, and the neighbour would love to have a trout for supper tonight. So we'll have to see if we can do it. Let's get straight to it and see if we can pick anything out. Like I say, I caught something here the other night. Yeah, still quite murky, isn't it? Damn. Right, I think I'm going to change it up. Take this off, go to a regular leader. So I'm going to go back for this green dialback that got me a fish last time I was here. Let's see if that's going to go on point. This kind of, it's like a cruncher, I guess. I think that's what you call a cruncher, because it's got that kind of hairy and red. Again, it's a sort of a crunchery type pattern. And then on the top dropper, orange pattern, like that. Ooh, see that fish jump? That was certainly couldn't miss that. I think even that camera would have picked it up. Must have leapt 3 feet out of the water. There go the geese. Okay, I'm going to retire this guy. Actually, let's try that one. I don't know why. Just like the look of him. So that's a hopper. It's like a daddy longlegs without the wings. I bought a box of these off eBay in various different sizes and shapes, or Amazon, I can't remember which. And it will do 2 things. One, it will just keep the flies further up in the water, and 2, it might attract them in its own right. Seems to me a lot of the time with fly fishing, your point fly is actually doing a job rather than necessarily being the main, the thing you're most likely to catch on. At least that's what it seems to be. So this should make a bit of something on the surface, which may attract, or it may not, of course. But it will also keep the flies further up in the water, which means I'll be fishing in a bit in water that I haven't covered yet, if that makes any sense. There we go. Yay, got a little something. What was that on? I think that might be just a little stocky. Quite a vicious take, but not very vigorous fish. Ah, they see me, that's probably. There it goes. Looks like my friend's getting a fish for tea after all. So what's he taking? It took it on the dropper, which was the sort of crunchery thing. There we go. Let's see if we can just get him in. Oh, come on, mate. Oh no, now he's getting a bit excited. So it was on the dropper. There we go, got him. So let's have a look at him. He's probably £1.75. Right. Cheers, mate. So I wonder if that was a case of I just happened to drag it past its nose and it snapped at it, or if it was actively out there looking for lunch, as it was. Oh, there's a fish rise just over there, so that must mean they're coming in a little bit closer, isn't it? Well, it definitely means they're coming in a bit closer, because that was quite close. Anyway, we got a little fish for our friend, and a picture, and he can watch the video of it being caught if he wants. Proper providence. Provenance? Provenance, not Providence. There we go. He's off. Fair old distance. Some people prefer to work on the reel. I don't. I have a big pile of lead, and I don't know what it is. It's just instinctively, it feels like if I'm worried about keeping the line on the reel, it just feels like it's something. You're much more in touch with it this way, I think, personally. Even though there's no gears, obviously, on a fly fishing reel. So I think he went. Oh, he took the point fly. Neat. He's quite energetic. Oh, I think it must be another stockfish. It's not all that big. Similar size to the other one. There we go. Gotcha. Right. Yeah, look at that. On the point fly. That's another. Let's get out. I'll try and get this out. Sharpish. Oh, sorry, dude. I think I'm not doing a very good job of this. Beg your pardon. There we go. Right, let's get him back in the net and straight in the water. Hopefully he's going to be okay. I did piss mess around with that a bit. There he goes. Good. He's fine. Well, that's nice to know. So he actually took the point fly. So there we have a couple of pounds Chew Valley Rainbow. I'll give it a bit of a... My friend will be very pleased with that, I'm sure. So it's nice to see that occasionally I can catch fish here on Wallybank. Even though I did catch one the other day, it feels like it's coming on a little bit more. So yeah, nice trip. See you next time.